Hello everyone, so we're going to do a tracing on post and pre-increment. So let's do this piece of code first. So we have three variables in our line 4. So we're going to have three variables, and these are of integer data types. So the value of A is 5, the value of B is 6, the value of C is 2. And then we have to calculate D. So let's take a column for D. D is of data type integer as well. So this is an assignment operator, and then we are doing some calculations here. So let's look at the right-hand side first. We have A, but we are pre-incrementing A. So A will become 6. So let's do the rough work here. So we have 6 minus. So 6 minus pre-decrementing B. So B will become 5 first, and then we will write it here in order to calculate D. Then we're adding, so let's bring out the plus sign, adding C, but we are post-incrementing C. So what's the current value of C? It's 2, right? So we are going to bring 2 here. And then we're going to update C to 3. And then we are subtracting. So let's bring out the minus sign. And we are pre-incrementing B. B is what? 5. So we will make it 6 and write it here. So let's calculate. We get Java reads from left to right. So 6 minus 5 gives us 1 plus 2 minus 6. So we have 3 minus 6, we have minus 3. So the value of D is minus 3. And in line 6, we are printing. So what we are printing D. So the output column will have the value of D, which is minus 3. So let's run it and check. Yes, we're getting minus 3. So this was pre and post increment, but this piece of code, yes. So let's comment this out. So this piece of code is a bit complicated. So we have what? We have E, right? So let's take a column for E. So we're assigning 10 to E. In line 9, what's happening is we are post-incrementing E, right? So this value of E will get assigned to the left-hand side of E. So what's the current value of E? It's 10, right? So the value of 10 will get assigned to E. So the final value of the left-hand side E will be 10. But since we are post-incrementing it, in between this step and this step, the value of E will become 11 for some time being. Okay, so but the value of this will be 10. Because what was the previous value of E? It was 10, right? So we will assign this 10 to E when we know J, the value of E will be 10 at the end, but we are post-incrementing it. So 10 will become 11, but it will get set to 10 again before we assign this value of E to left-hand side. So if we print out E, we will get 10. Okay, so in line 11, we are pre-decrementing E. What's the current value of E? It's 10, right? So we will decrement 10 to 9. So E will become 9. And then we will assign this E to E. So this value of E will become 9 again. So if we print out this line, we will get 9. So the output column will be first 10, and then it will be 9. So let's run it and check. It's 10, it's 9. Okay. So someone gave me this code. So let's trace it. Okay, so we have, actually, let's read, this is your code, by the way. So let's read from line 3. So we have X, we have P, we have sum. Okay, So all of these variables are assigned 0. And P is then updated to 1. So P will become 1, X will become 2. Okay. And we have another variable which is Q, but this Q is of double data type. And since no value has been assigned to Q, this is null for this has a garbage value. So, and then in line 7, sum is assigned the value of 0. So sum is 0 again. Now we have entered our loop in line 8. So we are checking while P is less than 12. What's the current value of P? It's 1. Is 1 less than 12? It is. We're going to enter this loop. So these are the formulas. So we need, let's bring it here. No, yes. So we're calculating Q. So we need X. What's the current value of X? It's 2. If you look at the right-hand side, P is 1, sum is 0. Then we have 7 by 4, division 3, mod 2. So if you remember the precedence, we are going to deal with the bracket first. So 7 by 4 gives us 1 because this is division. So 0 plus 1. So let's do it step by step. So we have 1 by 3 mod 2. Mod 2. So the precedence of the division sign and the mod sign are the same. So Java reads from left to right. So Java will deal with this first. 1 by 3 gives us 0.33, but since this is a division, an integer, so this will give us what? 0. So we have 0 mod 2. We have 2 plus 1. And 0 mod 2 gives us 0. So we have 3.0. So the value of Q will get updated to 3.0. Okay. Then in line 10, we are calculating sum. So yes. Okay, so sum will become, we need the current value of sum here. What's the current value of sum? It's 0. And then we are pre-incrementing X. What's the current value of X? It's 2. So we're going to update X to 3 and bring out 3 here. And we're typecasting Q. What's the current value of Q? It's 3.0. And we need the integer type. So we will have 3 here. So we have 6, and we're going to update sum to 6. Okay, and then in line 11, we are printing out sum. What's the current value of sum? It's 6. So in the console, we will have 6. And after printing out 6, we will update sum to 7. So sum will become 7 now. And in line 12, we're checking if X is greater than 5. What's the current value of X? It's 3. So is 3 greater than 5? It's not. So we won't enter this branch. In line 16 is what I explained in here. So this is important. So what's the current value of sum? It's 7, right? So the current value of sum, which is 7, will be the final value of sum on the left-hand side. But we are post-incrementing it, right? So 7 will become 8, but this 8 won't get assigned to the left-hand side. The previous value of sum, which was 7 here, this will be the final value of sum on the left-hand side. So even though it's incrementing, but we are incrementing it after we have assigned sum to the left-hand side. So 7 will become 8, but what will be the value that will get assigned at the end? It will be 7. So the final value of sum is 7. So we have reached the scope of our while loop. We are going to loop back and check. Is P, which is 1, is 1 less than 12? It is. We're going to recalculate Q and sum. So let's go back to our rough work. Okay, we have X. So X is 3. plus 1 minus sum is 7 plus 7 by 4 gives us 1 by 3 mod 2. 8 by 3 gives us 2. So 2 mod 2. So we know 2 mod 2 gives us what? 0. And 3 plus 1 plus minus 0 gives us 4.0. So the value of Q will get updated to 4.0. Then we're going to calculate sum. What's the value of sum? It's 7 plus x. So x will become 4 first, and we're going to bring out this 4 here. What's the current value of Q? It's 4.0, but we want the integer type, so it will be 4 again. So this gives us 15. Let's go back to our code. We are going to print sum. What is the value of sum that we calculated in line 10? It was 15, so we will print out 15. And then after printing out, we're going to increment the sum to 16. Now we're checking, is 4 greater than 5? It's not. So we won't enter this branch. What's the value of sum? So then we're going to do this step in line 16. What's the value of sum? It's 16. So we know 16 will be the final value that will get assigned to the sum on the left-hand side. So 16 will be the value that will get set, but we are incrementing it after we have assigned sum. This is post-increment. So the final value of sum will be 16, but since we're incrementing it, 16 will become 17. But what is the final value that will get assigned? It's 16, right? So 17 will become 16 again. So we have reached the end of our while scope. We will loop back again. What's the value of P? It's still 1. Is 1 less than 12? It is. We're going to recalculate Q and sum. So let's go back. Yes. Yes. What's the value of X? It's 4 plus 1 minus sum. Sum is 16. 16 plus 1 gives us 17 by 3 mod 2. So what's 17 by 13? 17 by 13 gives us 5. So minus 5 mod 2. 5 mod 2 gives us 1. 4 plus 1 minus 1, we have 4.0. So Q will be 4.0. It's 4.0. We are going to recalculate sum. What's the value of sum? It's 16 plus pre-increment x. So x will become 5. We will bring out 5 here. What's the value of Q? It's 4. So 16 plus 9 gives us 25. So the value of sum will be 25. Let's go back to our code. We will print out sum, which is 25. So 25. And after printing out, we're going to increment sum. So sum will become 26. Is 5 greater than 5? Because the value of x is 5 now. Is 5 greater than 5? It's not. We won't enter this branch. We will execute line 16. Okay, so what's the value of sum now? It's 26. So we know 26 will be the final value that will get assigned to the left-hand side. But we are post-incrementing it. So 26 will become 27. But before we assign this to the left-hand side, it will get set to 26 again. So this 26 will come here, and the value of sum will be 26. And we have reached the end of our while scope. We are going to loop back and check. Is the value of P, so the value of P is still 1. Is the value of 1 less than 12? It is. We are going to recalculate Q and sum. So, okay. So we have x plus 1 minus sum. What's the value of sum? Sum is 26. So 26 plus 1 by 3 mod 2. 27 by 3 mod 2. So 27 by 3 gives us 9. 9 mod 2 gives us 1. So it's 1, 5.0. So the value of P is 5.0. Then we're going to calculate sum. What's the value of sum? It's 26. And we're going to pre-increment x. So x will become 6. We're going to bring out this 6 here. So 26 plus 6 plus the integer type of q. Q is 5.0. We need the integer type, so it's 5. 26 plus 6 gives us 32. 32 plus 5 gives us 37. 37. So the value of sum will be 37. Okay. So we're going to print out sum. So we are going to print 37. And we're going to increment sum after printing it out. So 37 will become 38. Okay. Now we're checking, is x greater than 5? X is what? X is 6. Is 6 greater than 5? It is. So we will enter this branch. What we're doing, we're updating the value of P. So this line is basically this line that I have commented it out. So what is 4 by 2? 4 by 2 is 2. So this line is basically P plus equals to 2. So we know P plus equals to 2 is what? P equals to P plus 2. So P will become what? 1 plus 2 gives us 3. We have reached the end of our if branch, and then we're going to execute this line. What's the value of sum? It's 38. So we know 38 will be the final value that will get assigned to the left-hand side of sum. But we are post-incrementing it, so 38 will become 39. But what is the final value that will get assigned to sum? It is 38. So it will be 38 now. We have reached the end of our while loop, and this will keep going on. So I'm not going to complete this trace, but let's run this code and see if I have done correctly or not. So the outputs are 6, 15, 25, 37. And so let's check. 6, yes, 15, 25, 37, and you will keep on executing the while loop. And after you have reached the end of your while loop, you will execute this line and then print out the final value of sum. So I hope you've understood this part. Okay, bye.